Do you think overall that was a good thing or a bad thing for the paranormal community, the TV shows?
I think it's double-edged, right? So the good side, I think, is it's not as taboo as it used to be, these stories and people's experiences. I've met people from all over who are, I mean, I've met people who are like in their 80s and they're like, I'm so glad I get to finally talk about this experience, or I'm so glad I get to finally explore this because I had this experience when I was really young and I always felt like if I did explore it, people would think I was crazy. And, so I'm happy that the taboo of it has fallen away a lot, because I also think just from the very objective side of and taking the research side of it, that helps us move things forward in a lot of ways now that the stigma has dropped a lot. On the negative side, though, I think what it's done is because it's media.
Sure.
And you see this with all sorts of media. It's like the action movie effect where, like, let's take Fast and the Furious. Okay. Oh, we can't have like one car exploding. We need like 5 cars exploding.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the audience gets desensitized to the wow moments that they need more wow moments. They need bigger wow moments. So I think a lot of things, just as the genre went on, were, obviously faked.
You don't say.
Yeah, I mean, you see, I will say I've never been on one myself. I've turned down a lot of offers because they told me that they would fake things, and I just do not get involved. It's in my contract, like you can't. But there are a lot of people who do and have, and I think we see that a lot in social media, especially. So the channel I run on YouTube, like obviously we don't fake anything. And one of the interesting things I think that has come out of that, two sides of that, is we get a lot of people who are like, I'm so glad I found your channel because you're not faking anything. And like, it's so refreshing to see. I'm so tired of it. But then we also get some people that are like, nothing happened. This is so boring. And what's interesting to me about that is because when you're on an investigation, it is actually kind of boring.
Very.
You know what I mean? Like things don't really happen the way some of these shows portray or some of these movies portray, obviously.
You're telling me there's not a demon everywhere?
No, not surprise.
What?
So I always tell people, like, at best, like the real shows are highlight reels. And then you also have like, there's been fake shows. So I think the negative side, but what really grinds my gears about the negative side of that is I think you're messing with people's belief systems, and I don't like that.
I think I know what you mean by that, but explain. What exactly do you mean? As far as
the negative side? Yeah. So, for example, I think when I've done events, I've met a lot of people who are terminal or that they've met or that they have lost people very close to them, like immediate family members. And they'll reference shows that I know were faked.
Right.
And they'll kind of use it as their foundation for, well, I think this is what it means. This is what that means. And I'm just like, oh, man, I don't think that's okay. Like, I kind of feel like that's crossing a line.
Yeah, I kind of have that problem, but with like psychics. And I'm not saying that, I always have to preface this because I don't know who I'm going to offend and where. I'm not saying all psychics are bullshit con artists. Like, I'm sure somewhere like that ability exists in some people. But I've seen that, in these TV shows, they all have their psychics, and now there's shows about psychics, and now they like it's going fucking crazy. And like I know a lot of people in the paranormal world too, but I can't, I know some of these are outright frauds, and I see them on social media, like pay me money and I'll put you in contact with, your grandma or your mom.
Yeah,
like,
that's
just
so swarmy.
It's so disgusting. And so I don't have a lot of insight into the ghost hunting side of the shows like you do, but like that psychic side, we've seen that because we'll get people, believe it or not, wanting to know if we have psychics that work for us. Like, hey, can I hire one of your psychics? Well, we don't have psychics. What do you mean? Oh, well, I just assumed that you did because all the TV shows have psychics, and I, wanted to, reach out to so-and-so. And that's kind of heartbreaking. I don't like that.
Yeah. And I agree with you. I think so. I've met a lot of psychics who I truly, truly believe have like an extra sense. What they've been able to do is like mind blowing for me, to me. Sorry. But I mean, I've certainly met my fair share of people who are taking advantage of other people. And so a lot of times I'll get approached, especially by people who have just lost somebody. And they're like, do you know of somebody I can go to for a reading? And I won't ever introduce somebody until a year has gone by.
Right.
Because I'm like, there's a couple of reasons for that, but especially like, I don't want anyone to be taken advantage of, because when you are vulnerable, that's the time somebody's gonna do that to you, and not that I would introduce somebody to somebody that I didn't think was legit, but just, it's kind of like a rule of thumb for anybody listening. Like, I wait until you have a little distance from that event,
Yeah. Yeah. I think the whole paranormal show, actually, I was just talking about this with somebody. Oh, Cliff from Finding Bigfoot a couple weeks ago. We were talking, and, I made the comment to him, Bigfoot too is kind of in that same ghost. Actually, Bigfoot might be worse as far as like getting made fun of if you believe in it kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was telling him, I was like, what you guys did with your TV show, that one of the best things it did was make it okay to talk about those things. Cause I've been a Bigfoot believer all my life, but half the time, they'll see me as like some successful CEO. I guess, don't laugh, guys. And they're like, wait a minute, you believe in Bigfoot? I'm like, well, yeah. And then it just feels weird. And I told him that was one of the best things I think. And going back to the paranormal shows as well, just like you hinted at, it made it okay to talk about these things.
Yeah. People have these experiences. That's what it comes down to. They have them. Now, whether or not they can be explained, that's a different conversation. Yeah. But I always think, even like, let's just say for the sake of argument, everything is neurological and we all have like a brain tumor or something going on. But that, to me, that's still worth exploring. And that's still worth explanation.
If you enjoyed this clip from the Ghost City podcast, be sure to check out the full episode right here on the Ghost City Tours YouTube page. Subscribe to our channel for new spooky content every week.